Here are my top 3 biggest changes I've seen living in Austin. My name's Connor. I'm a local realtor here in Austin. I would love the opportunity to earn your business and help you find that perfect place to buy or sell. My contact info is right there. Subscribe down below to see upcoming videos. I've lived in Austin for 5 years, since 2019 at this point. So I've seen, what life was like before COVID, during COVID, and now after COVID. So I haven't been here long enough to see a long timeline, but I feel like I've seen a lot of changes over the past 5 years. The first change that I saw was the perception of Austin during COVID. During COVID, a ton of people were trying to get out of the cities and relocating to places that might have a better quality of life for them, but were also out of, the big, highly densely populated cities. So we saw a ton of people relocating here from California, from New York, from Oregon, Washington. So a lot of different people were coming here because they, didn't love their life in whatever city they were coming from. They saw some potential in Austin, and they saw some potential to have some more happiness here than they might have had in their other location. So during this time, Austin had this perception of being like one of the greatest cities to move in. Austin was on a short list of cities that had this massive COVID boom. Austin, Boise, a lot of parts of Florida, Denver, Montana. There's a ton of these places that, we're seeing moderate population growth, and then it was just a swing in the opposite direction. So when I moved here in 2019, it was kind of an afterthought. Like, people knew about it, but they didn't really think it was like this cool hip place to move to. When they thought of Texas, they thought of Dallas or Houston or San Antonio. Austin is, the 4th smallest, so it's not the biggest, not the most popular. Most people end up moving to the other major cities instead of Austin. So that totally changed with COVID, and now it has this new perception. So the second change I saw was an increase in high-end development, specifically downtown. So during this time, there's a lot of people relocating from these major cities like Los Angeles and New York, and they liked the walkability, they liked the city lifestyle that they were accustomed to. So they came here and they wanted to have that same city lifestyle, but it would be slightly different. So these people were still moving here for that similar lifestyle. They found themselves looking in downtown. Now, downtown Austin isn't the biggest downtown. There hasn't been a ton of development, and the city has actively restricted development up until the 80s. It was very restricted, and then in 2007 it was lifted to allow for more development. So what we saw was an underbuilt downtown area, more people who wanted to live downtown, and thus it increased this demand for downtown condos, downtown apartments, and ultimately that led to this boom in skyscraper building. I don't have an exact number, but over the past 5 years, I would not be surprised if you told me that 25 skyscrapers were built downtown. At one point, I was stuck in traffic and I'm overlooking the downtown skyline, and I counted 21 cranes at one time building various buildings throughout downtown. So we saw this massive shift of all this building, all these new condos going up, these new apartment buildings. Really, it completely changed the downtown skyline in a very short period of time. This is one of the major reasons why when you hear people say, Austin lost its character, it's not keep Austin weird anymore. This is a big part of that, because there were certain areas that were very unique. For example, Rainey Street. It's this street of bars in downtown Austin, and it was lined with these tiny little houses that it was more like houses converted into bars. So each house was different. Each bar was totally different. They had these unique vibes, and they, had live music, and each one was totally unique. Really fun time to go out and have fun. Well, Rainey Street has seen probably some of the most development. So the price of the land increased so much that those buildings have been torn down and replaced with these massive condos and apartment buildings. They're trying to, still have that feel. They're trying to put like the same bars on the ground floor. They're starting to have some, shopping and retail, but it's a totally different atmosphere. So really, I think the population of people relocating from major cities has drastically increased the development of the skyline in downtown skyscrapers. The third biggest change I've seen is the suburban sprawl. Now, this happened in cities everywhere throughout the country. People were forced to stay home. They realized they needed more space and they didn't need to be tied to work, so they sold their house and moved somewhere where they could get a bigger house with more space. So we saw this massive influx of people going out to the suburbs. And during this time, we have seen a ton of new developments go up. There are new construction going up everywhere trying to meet this demand. There's new communities in every suburb. They're trying to build homes as fast as possible. And at the same time, they have wait lists on these homes, 100 people deep. So there is way too much demand for the supply. The builders start building like crazy, and we have seen that just scale back a ton recently. There's a lot of these new developments that have seen massive price drops. They've seen people moving out, trying to go back into the office, back into the city, and it's really hurt the property values in those areas. So again, a lot of homes being built in a short period of time totally changed the outlook of the city. There were specific parts of Austin that I thought wouldn't get developed for a decade, 2 decades. You drive out there and you think, wow, there's nothing here. I would never live here. And now I drive out there and there's 4 fully finished communities. Like the amount of building that went on was just insane. And went to places that I really thought was way too early. There's no infrastructure there. There's no grocery stores, gas stations, hospitals, doctor's offices. It's just too early for those things to come out. So that's definitely something we've seen, is a lot of homes being built in places that I don't think there's the infrastructure coming to support those people. So they're going to have to drive longer distances to get what they want. They're going to have a longer commute into work. So that's been something interesting that I've noticed just driving around town. That's it for today's video. Those are the biggest changes I've seen in Austin in my 5 years of living here. If you have anything that I missed, please comment it down below. If you have any questions about Austin, please reach out. My contact info is right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.